To start this guide the right way, let's set the hook. If you've ever wondered how frontline soldiers managed to stay alive through nights that regularly plunged below freezing, this is where it gets interesting. Because sleeping through cold that cuts through bone wasn't bravery, luck, or toughness alone. It was technique, hard-earned, bitterly tested, quietly passed from one exhausted soldier to another. These hacks weren't written in manuals, they were survival tactics developed in real time, under fire, in forests, frozen trenches, burned-out towns, and winter battlefields from the Ardennes to the Eastern Front. And here's the important part. Many of these tricks still work today, with no electricity and no modern gear. If you're a student of real-world survival, or you simply respect the ingenuity of soldiers fighting nature as fiercely as they fought the enemy, then you're about to learn something with genuine legacy behind it. So let's get into the meat of it, because these 7 WWII soldier sleeping hacks for surviving frozen ground are some of the most brutally effective techniques ever used in field conditions. The first hack soldiers relied on was raising themselves off the ground with anything available because frozen earth was the real enemy. The cold from the earth pulls heat out of the body faster than most people realize, and wet ground accelerates it. WWII soldiers solved this by creating improvised insulation layers. They used pine branches, broken fencing, straw from abandoned barns, even spare clothing stuffed under their bodies. Veterans of the Eastern Front often described spending the first 15 minutes of any halt gathering armfuls of branches before even unrolling a blanket. In modern practice, the same principle holds. If you're out in the wild and forced to sleep on frozen terrain, your first step is elevating yourself. Use your pack, spare clothing, cardboard, brush, even piled leaves. The rule is simple. The ground should never touch your body directly. It's one of the best ways to retain body heat without any modern gear. Another technique that kept soldiers alive was using a heated stone bed, a classic field trick long before WWII but perfected during the conflict. Soldiers would bury fist-sized stones in a small fire for a while, brush off the ash, wrap them in cloth and place them under their coats or inside a dugout. The stones radiated slow heat for hours, buying precious warmth through freezing nights. For someone applying this today, the method is straightforward. Heat stones that are dry, wet stones can crack, wrap them in fabric and place them around your torso or under your bedding. They function like crude, durable hot water bottles and require nothing but a fire and time. Soldiers also created windshields by reshaping the environment around them, because body heat is useless if wind is stealing it faster than you can make it. WWII's infantry dug shallow depressions, used snowbanks as natural windbreaks, or set up ponchos and tent halves angled low to the ground. Even partial shielding made a massive difference. If you need to sleep outdoors in freezing conditions today, copy the same principle. Block the wind with whatever you have. A backpack, logs, a tarp, a natural rock wall, or even a shallow trench carved with a boot heel can cut the wind speed enough to preserve your insulation. It's a small amount of effort for a major warmth payoff. A fourth method, rarely discussed outside veteran accounts, was the practiced art of shared warmth used in pairs. Many frontline troops slept back-to-back or chest-to-back, conserving heat the same way mountaineers do today. This wasn't camaraderie, it was survival. And, well, it worked. Heat loss slows dramatically when two heat sources are combined. While this isn't always practical today, in real wilderness survival or emergency scenarios, it's still one of the most reliable ways to stay alive when temperatures drop below freezing. A fifth principle soldiers applied was trapping moisture away from the body because, well, wetness was as lethal as cold itself. Troops improvised vapour barriers before the term even existed. Waxed canvas, spare shirts, paper, or even dry straw went underneath bedrolls to create a barrier layer. On the modern side, if you're forced to sleep outdoors, even a plastic bag or rain poncho beneath you can prevent ground moisture from wicking into your clothes. Staying dry extends your survivability by hours. One of the most underrated World War II sleeping hacks was pre-warming the body with movement before bedding down. Soldiers who stepped straight from marching into rest were often colder than those who did a few minutes of controlled movement before lying down. The idea was to raise the body's internal furnace while keeping sweat to a minimum. That warm core temperature carries into the first critical minutes of sleep, which is when the body loses heat fastest. Today, a couple of minutes of brisk but non-sweaty movement, light exercises, walking or stretching, can make a massive difference before settling into cold conditions. The seventh hack that helped soldiers survive frozen nights was the strategic use of layered sleeping, alternating air pockets and fabric. Soldiers understood that compressing all their materials into one thick pad eliminated insulation, so they layered loosely. Blanket, branches, coat, poncho, then another cloth. Air pockets trapped between layers created insulation far beyond the material itself. Modern outdoor skills echo this exactly. When using improvised gear, prioritize loose layering over dense packing. The structure of the layers is what keeps warmth around your body. These 7 World War II soldier sleeping hacks for surviving frozen ground continue to work because they rely on physical principles, not equipment. Insulate from the ground, retain core heat, block wind, trap warm air, and avoid moisture. These lessons kept soldiers alive in some of the harshest winters ever recorded. If you want to honour that knowledge, apply it, practice it, and preserve it. And if you found this guide valuable, make sure you subscribe to Legacy of Survival and share this resource with fellow historians and survival enthusiasts.